In the wild, every step has a rule, and every rule is written in instincts older than civilization itself. But on a warm afternoon in South Africa, one tourist broke a rule that every ranger knows. And what happened next changed the entire safari forever. This is the story of the day a lion reminded the world that the wild is not a zoo, and how one single decision triggered a chain of events that nobody saw coming. And the lion changed everything. A vast aerial shot of the African savannah at first light. Golden rays stretch across the tall grass. Wildebeests and zebras move in quiet herds. The distant roar of a lion echoes across the plains. At dawn, the Mbali Wildlife Reserve comes alive, not with noise, but with a calm so powerful that even the wind seems to listen. Here the land stretches endlessly, untouched by time. A place where nature decides the rules. On acacia trees, elephants walking in silent procession, birds rising in a synchronized wave. New expanded detail begins. Every year, thousands of visitors travel across oceans just to witness this raw kingdom. A place ruled not by humans, but by lions, elephants, hyenas, and ancient instincts. The open safari path as a jeep approaches from a distance. On this warm afternoon, one safari vehicle carried a group of 9 excited tourists. For many, it was their first encounter with true wilderness, a world without fences where animals roam freely and unpredictably. The safari jeep rolls to a stop at the entrance gate. The ranger checks equipment: radio, flare, binoculars, first aid kit. Travelers was Daniel, a 29-year-old adventure enthusiast. He had read countless articles about Africa, watched documentaries, and dreamed for years of coming face to face with the continent's legendary wildlife. But Daniel had never been this close to real danger before, and the line between admiration and risk was thinner than he realized. A drone shot of the jeep moving deeper into the reserve. Their guide, Ranger Sifo, had worked in Mbali Reserve for over 11 years. He had watched lions grow from cubs to kings, tracked elephants across miles of bushland, and had survived situations most people would never believe. Ranger Sifo giving a briefing. Before entering the core wildlife zone, Sifo repeated the reserve's most important law. Stay inside the vehicle, do not stand, do not shout. No sudden movements. In the wild, your safety depends on your silence. Tourists nod politely, some smiling, not fully understanding the seriousness. But Daniel, like many first-time visitors, had one dangerous assumption: that a lion resting under the sun is simply an oversized cat, sleepy, relaxed, and harmless. Daniel raises his camera, smiling with excitement, a slow zoom on his innocent enthusiasm. Behind him in the far distance, a lion sleeps beneath a tree, completely unnoticed, yet watching. What Daniel didn't know was that in the wild, calmness is not weakness. Stillness is not safety. A lion's silence is never a sign of peace, but a warning that its instincts are quietly awake. A magnificent male lion lying beneath a shady marula tree. Dust floats in the sunlight, flies circle his mane. His golden fur glows under scattered beams of afternoon sun. 15 minutes into the drive, the silence of the savannah broke into a soft whisper of excitement. Because they're lying like a king who owned the land, was Mabutho, one of the reserve's most dominant male lions. Mabutho wasn't just any lion. He ruled a pride of 8, 3 lionesses, 4 subadults, and 1 young cub. His presence alone kept hyenas, leopards, and even younger male lions at bay. Cut to a slow zoom on Mabutho's eyes, half closed but sharply observant. To an untrained eye, he looked asleep, peaceful, almost gentle. But lions are never careless. Stillness is one of their greatest weapons and a way to mask power, while watching everything. For many of the tourists, this was the closest they had ever been to a wild predator. Their hands trembled as they lifted their cameras. Even the quietest breath felt loud. Ranger Sifo raises his hand, giving the group a silent reminder. Ranger Sifo, experienced and alert, reminded them in a low voice. Remain seated. Do not stand. Do not rise above the vehicle's silhouette. A lion can tell when something changes, and he will investigate. The group nods, some pull back slightly in respect. Daniel, however, adjusts his camera. He looks at a perfect angle, sunlight catching the lion's mane perfectly. But Daniel had a different thought. He wasn't satisfied with an ordinary picture. He wanted the picture. The kind people post online with captions like "once in a lifetime" or "face to face with the king." Daniel slowly rises from his seat, knees lifted. His camera lens points directly at the lion. He didn't stand suddenly, he didn't make noise. He simply rose, just a few inches above the metal frame of the Jeep. Wild, a few inches can be the difference between safety and danger. Mabutho's eyes opened, slowly, deliberately, sharply. For the first time, Mabutho saw something he wasn't expecting. A shape breaking the clean outline of the safari vehicle. A new silhouette, a rising figure. The lion's pupils expand, his breathing changes. To a lion, this wasn't an innocent tourist looking for a better picture. This was a possible threat or a possible challenge. Daniel does not yet realize what he has triggered. He raises his camera higher. A soft shutter click echoes in the quiet air. Cut to the lion again. Muscles tightening, shoulders rising, ears fully locked forward. In less than a second, the balance of the savannah shifted. Mabutho was no longer resting, he was assessing. Fade out on the lion's eyes, focused, alert, and fixed on Daniel. Mabutho's massive paw pressing into the dry earth. Dust lifts in slow motion. The lion rises, his mane catching the sunlight like a slow-burning fire. In the wild, danger doesn't always roar. Sometimes it rises slowly, quietly, deliberately. The lion lifts his head. His gaze sharpens into a predator's focus. To a lion, a standing figure is not a sightseer. A standing figure is either a rival challenging for dominance or prey that has exposed itself. The mood shifts instantly. Muscles along Mabutho's shoulders tighten like coiled ropes. His chest expands with a deep, steady inhale. In that moment, Mabutho made a decision. A silent, instinctive calculation older than human civilization itself. The lion's eyes lock onto Daniel, sharp, unblinking, assessing. For the first time that afternoon, the reserve fell into pure silence. Not the peaceful silence of nature, but the silence before something powerful happens. Even the insects pause. A soft breeze moves across the grass. Mabutho takes a step forward. Heavy, purposeful, then another step. Predators never rush unless they intend to strike. And Mabutho wasn't running. He was approaching with the confidence of a ruler walking toward a disturbance in his kingdom. The camera inside the Jeep shakes. A tourist grips the edge of her seat. A man whispers, "Oh my God, oh my God." Another tries to hide behind the seat, breathing fast. Tourists whispered in panic, their voices trembling. But fear was the one thing they could not afford. Because lions react to panic the way sharks react to blood. Sifo slowly reaches out, tapping Daniel's leg urgently. Ranger Sifo's voice dropped to a desperate whisper. "Sit down. Sit down now." His eyes never leave the lion. Daniel freezes, unsure whether to move or stay still. Outside, Mabutho continues forward. Each step slow enough to be controlled, strong enough to vibrate through the ground. Dust rises around his paws, but it was already too late. In the few seconds Daniel stood above the Jeep's silhouette, Mabutho's mind had already shifted into a different mode. The lion lowers his head slightly, ears forward, pupils wide. The mode that decides between dominance and an attack. The lion is now halfway between the tree and the vehicle. The Jeep's engine remains off. No one dares to breathe loudly. With every step, the distance shrank. 20 meters, 15, 10. The tension becomes suffocating. Daniel frozen, camera still in hand, regret written across his face. In that terrifying moment, Daniel understood the truth of the wild. That in the kingdom of lions, one mistake is all it takes for curiosity to become confrontation. The lion's final step echoes like a drumbeat, and confrontation to become survival.